Thank you, Alfred. Hello again, everybody. A year ago at this time, I was savoring our centennial celebration, along with many of you. A huge thank you to our president, Dave Hoffman, and good friend and fellow Iowa State graduate for his leadership in that effort, and to the Centennial Committee and the NCARB staff for making sure that the celebration was a success. During that exciting event, my remarks as your incoming president were focused on the dawn of a new second century for NCARB. I shared the excitement and an opportunity for fresh ideas, thoughtful focus on future growth, and the importance of keeping our momentum as a council. I consider you my friends, who I've volunteered with for a long time, and I'm honored to have served as your president. But certainly, none of us anticipated the turn this past year would take. Yes, we've had fresh opportunities. And yes, we remain focused on the future and on our momentum. But over the past few months, we're also reminded to focus on what is essential in our personal lives, in our business lives, and with NCARB, we're making a daily effort to embrace the basics. I want to commend our member boards for persevering in their work to provide licensing and regulatory support for the profession and the public. Those of you who have volunteered for NCARB at all levels this past year, I salute you. Your volunteer efforts have been exceptional, and I thank you for responding to charges and adapting in this last part of our fiscal year. Dr. Seuss might say, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. I'm indebted to the NCARB staff and their support for me, for all of you, and for NCARB's customers. Their agility makes us all proud of how far we've come and how much further we can go. We've had a strong year with all of our revenues leading into the last 3.5 months. And that strong performance has positioned us to sustain our momentum and continue to service you and our customers. All of us can share in this success, from our member boards providing timely information to our volunteers and our staff team who have worked to assure we perform at a high level. There's been no shortage of accomplishments and new beginnings in the past 12 months, even as we recalibrated and redirected our focus. We now have a very robust portfolio of supervisor training options, and that portfolio can continue to grow. This has been one of my highest priorities, and I'm pleased with our progress. We launched 2 new committees, the Policy Continuum Advisory Committee, composed of the chairs of the Exam, Experience, Education, and Policy Advisory Committees to explore common emerging issues, and the Licensing Advisory Forum to create a new engagement with key external organizations that assures awareness and creates a pipeline for constructive feedback. We converted the Interior Architecture Work Group into the Interiors Task Force and elevated the Diversity Collaborative to a task force status. Both groups are delving more deeply into areas that are both sensitive and important. We began the implementation process for our strategic plan, creating organizational and financial dashboards, applying the 3 goals of facilitation, collaboration, maximization as to how we should engage as a board and how we prioritize our work as a council. We updated our education guidelines with a member board comment period with a focus on aligning with the recently adjusted NAB conditions for accreditations. We conducted a sunset review of the AXP portfolio option for complying with experience requirements. This process has provided direction regarding new oversight provisions going forward. We finalized drafts for the 3 resolutions which will be presented to the membership at our future face-to-face gathering, addressing updated certification guidelines, sunsetting a resolution on interior design regulation, and updating NCARB's model law toolkit. We benefited from frank face-to-face discussions with leadership from ACSA and the NAB. We've also deepened our connection to frequent regulatory partners from the disciplines of engineering and surveying, landscape architecture, and interior design. Our committee summit was once again energized by the presence of our licensure candidates think tank and the rethink tank of recent licensees. Some of you have been involved in fascinating discussions regarding the future of regulation and the future of NCARB, including NCARB culture, as it relates to diversity, equity, and inclusion. I've enjoyed auditing the meetings of our Model Law Task Force and Futures Collaborative. All of these efforts are exposing, and in some cases unearthing, critical topics that require thoughtful and forward-thinking action. Along the way, our board has tackled tough issues, and we've been open with each other when we've disagreed. Through those debates and discussions, we've come together as a team. We understand that together we can make an important contribution to each member board's work, to each licensure's candidate's path, and to each practitioner's ability to practice across jurisdictional boundaries. We began the new fiscal year last July by attending the Accreditation Review Forum, sponsored by the NAB. It was an honor to lead the NCARB team at this historic event, gathering the boards of all 5 collaterals for the first time. We left with a new appreciation for our great community and with a determination to pursue additional ways to have an impact on how education contributes to licensure. 1 month later, many of us were in Minneapolis to attend the biennial Licensing Advisors Summit. The timing of addressing education and then pivoting to experience and examination through the eyes of advisors really helped launch our second century focus. Throughout the year, we've continued to lay the foundation for a fresh look at NCARB. Our timing couldn't be better as we now face a changed world for regulators and practitioners. Our focus on fundamentals will empower our discussions regarding the value of regulation. Our ability to remain agile will help us navigate the economic impacts on state governments and on architecture firms. Our relationships with external groups to NCARB are stronger today and will sustain our efforts in the coming months and years. We're on our way up. We'll be seeing great sights. We'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You guessed it, Dr. Seuss. I couldn't have done this without all of your efforts this year and your support. I want to thank those who positioned me for this opportunity over the years, including my former Iowa board colleagues, my friends in Region 4, board members past and current, who have shaped me. And of course, my wife, Jolene. She has been with me every step of the way, lived through these unforgettable moments with me, and has been my rock and my dependable confidant. I also can't leave without thanking the exceptional NCARB team who provided amazing support for me as your president. I'm glad we had these times together, just to laugh and sing a song. Seems like we just got started, and then before you know it, the times we had together were gone. It's been a wonderful experience, and I believe great things are still to come. And I quote, "It's not about what it is, it's about what it can become." We can go further, and we'll do it together. Thank you.